single tweet. That is all it took to change the debate. August 2023. A small firm in India, approximately $5 million in annual revenue, quietly implements a new AI system. For the firm's founder, Sumit Shah, the results were immediate. Wait times, 0. Operational costs, slashed. The math was perfect. He eliminated 90% of his customer support team overnight. It was a victory for efficiency, a celebration of lean business. But in the cold calculations of the spreadsheet, there was no room for the human factor, no line item for the people who helped build the company. They were not phased out, they were simply erased. This is the story of Dukaan, the company that decided speed was more valuable than sympathy, and the price they paid for cold, clinical efficiency. The clock showed 4:30 p.m. The date was August 17, 2023. For the small, ambitious e-commerce platform Dukaan, this was the moment the company's internal calculus was made public. Sumit Shah, the company's founder, posted a series of messages. They were terse, boastful, and utterly remorseless. He described a recent operational change, the replacement of 90% of his company's customer support staff with an in-house artificial intelligence system. The numbers he presented were stark. Customer support wait times dropped from 2 minutes to instant. The cost savings, he claimed, amounted to approximately 90%. The post went viral. It was treated not as a corporate announcement, but as a declaration of a new economic war. On one side, the ruthless efficiency of the machine. On the other, the livelihoods of dozens of people. The reaction was immediate and violent. Journalists called it heartless. Technologists called it inevitable. Former employees called it betrayal. Shah doubled down. He posted screenshots of his company's financials, showing the immediate and dramatic reduction in overhead. He argued that the cost of employing human agents, salaries, benefits, training, was now an obsolete expenditure. His firm, he insisted, could now scale without the limits of human capital. It was pure business. The public response, however, was rarely about business. It was about humanity. This single event, a small company in Bangalore executing a cold statistical plan, became a worldwide flashpoint in the debate over automation. It raised the core question haunting every business owner from the storefront to the venture-backed startup. When a machine can do the work, what obligation remains to the person? The story of Dukaan began with a much softer promise. Founded in 2021, the firm aimed to help small, independent retailers quickly launch their own digital storefronts. Shah presented himself as a champion of the small merchant, a figure helping brick-and-mortar owners compete in a digital economy. To achieve this, the early stages relied heavily on personalized customer service. Every new platform had bugs, every new merchant had questions. The human support team, scattered across India working remote hours, was the lifeline for these small businesses. They were the ones who manually fixed order errors, walked non-technical users through payment gateways, and handled the emotional distress of a lost sale. The team was small, perhaps 40 to 50 individuals at its peak, but the venture capital clock was running. After securing initial funding, the company faced the pressure common to all high-growth startups: scale or die. The investors wanted global potential, not just slow, regional growth. Every dollar spent on operations was seen as a potential drag on valuation. The support team, once seen as an asset for user trust, was recast as a liability on the balance sheet. In the second quarter of 2023, the internal development of a new tool began. Project management software showed lines of code being written, testing logs being compiled, and algorithms being fed thousands of past customer interactions. The humans whose work was being analyzed were effectively training their own replacement. The support agents, some of whom had been with the company since the start, were reportedly unaware of the true purpose of the new tool. They were told it was an assistant. This quiet, internal preparation set the stage for the August terminations. It created the sense of betrayal that defined the controversy. The agents were not phased out. They were erased in a single surgical cut, all for the sake of a newly optimized metric: efficiency. The AI system built by Dukaan was sophisticated, yet simple in its core function. On paper, the logic was bulletproof. Just another ticket closed. It was a large language model fine-tuned on the company's decade of support logs. It excelled at answering the 80% of questions that were repetitive. How do I reset my password? Where is my invoice? What are your shipping rates? The mechanism of its success was the elimination of delay. A human agent must read, synthesize, access internal tools, and type a response. This process, even when optimized, takes minutes. The AI operates in milliseconds. Its answers are pre-validated against the company database. This change resulted in the instant response time Shah advertised. Financially, it made brutal, perfect sense. The cost of a human agent, including salary and infrastructure, might be $500 per month. The cost of running the cloud-based AI service for the same volume of tickets might be $50 per month. A 90% reduction was not an exaggeration. It was a simple mathematical truth for routine inquiries. But this efficiency came with built-in failures. The system struggled with ambiguity. If a customer used non-standard language or needed to describe a unique order problem, the bot often entered a loop of pre-programmed answers. It could not infer emotion. It could not offer a sympathetic apology beyond its script. When an AI fails, it does not offer a nuanced explanation. It offers a dead end. Customers began reporting incidents of the bot being frustratingly unhelpful when tickets escalated beyond a simple FAQ. The cost reduction was clear, but the cost of failure, the loss of complex problem resolution and customer loyalty, was a metric the AI itself could not track. Shah had solved for speed and cost. Had he solved for the one thing that mattered most? Trust. The cold data of the spreadsheet translated into dozens of lost livelihoods. For the former support agents, the sudden termination was a professional shockwave. The work they performed was often undervalued, but it was a stable income. In a single moment, that stability evaporated, replaced by a sense of disposability. Testimonials from former staff described the impersonal nature of the exit. They did not receive an email from their manager, but a generic corporate message outlining the terms. The message positioned the layoff not as a failure of the company, but as a success of the technology. The language was sterile, focused entirely on the future of Dukaan, with little regard for the past contributions of the human team. One former employee, a woman who only gave her name as Rieya, described the feeling of being replaced by code she herself helped refine. They used our conversations, our solutions, to build the thing that fired us. It's like we trained our own executioner, she said in an online interview. The narrative shifted from a simple layoff to a moral injury, a sense of betrayal by the very platform they supported. The irony was stark. The CEO used a high-friction social media post to announce a low-friction operational model. The attention was focused entirely on him, the architect of the move, while the employees were left to silently search the job market. They became statistical footnotes in the larger tech story, the first widespread, high-profile case of AI-driven large-scale replacement in a small business setting. But beneath the headlines and the hype, one question remained. Did it actually work? Before we dive into the next part, let me ask you something. Here's a test. Count how many times you did the exact same task this week. Now multiply that by 52. If you're running a business doing $500,000 to $10 million, you already figured out the hard part. You've got customers, you've got revenue. But here's what nobody tells you. The bigger you get, the more you become the person handling all the stuff nobody else knows how to do. Approving invoices, scheduling calls, answering the same questions over and over. And the weird part, most of that can run itself now. It's not about spending a fortune or hiring a tech team. Most business owners just don't know where to start. So we built something simple, a 2-minute survey. You answer a few questions about what's eating your time, and it shows you exactly what's automatable in your specific business. Links in the description. Takes 2 minutes. You might be surprised what you find. Now let's get back to the story, because what happened next changed everything. 6 months after the viral post, the immediate chaos subsided, replaced by a deeper scrutiny. Did the move actually work? The financial picture remained positive. The company maintained its lean operating costs. The immediate speed metrics held up. Routine tasks were still resolved instantly, confirming Shah's initial assertions on efficiency. However, the longer-term results were complicated. Customer loyalty tracking indicated a subtle, but measurable, visible erosion of retention rates. Complex, high-value clients who needed detailed technical assistance occasionally abandoned the platform after failing to resolve issues with the bot. The remaining human support team, the 10% kept on staff, found themselves overwhelmed, dealing only with the most difficult edge cases the AI could not handle. Their job became harder, not easier. Dukaan, a company that began by selling trust to small merchants, had spent its own trust capital for immediate financial gain. The controversy served as a powerful, unavoidable advertisement for the new reality. AI is not just a tool for optimization. It is a tool for destruction of conventional job roles. Sumit Shah remained unyielding in his defense, arguing that technological progress is inevitable and that the market will reward efficiency over sentiment. The Dukaan case proved that a business does not need to be a technology giant to make a global impact. A company in the $5 million revenue range could, with a single algorithm and a bold announcement, force a global conversation about the future of work. The transaction was complete. Human capital was swapped for algorithmic efficiency. The question hanging over Dukaan and everyone watching is simple. What will that trade cost in the long run? The Dukaan story does not end with a clear winner or loser. The company did achieve massive savings and efficiency. The CEO did face public scrutiny. Former employees did lose their jobs. The story functions as a preview of a future where efficiency is prioritized above all else. For business owners watching this transition, the lessons are concrete and immediate. AI implementation is a PR event. Moving to automated support is not just a technical change, it is a public-facing event. The delivery of the news is as important as the technology itself. Dukaan's failure was in bragging about the human cost. 2. The 20% problem. AI excels at 80% of routine tasks. The remaining 20%, complex problems, emotional customers, and unique edge cases still require highly skilled humans. Replacing 90% is over-optimistic. A small, highly trained human team must be retained to handle the AI's failures. 3. Trust is the hidden metric. The fastest response is meaningless if the answer is useless. Companies cannot automate customer loyalty. Long-term success depends on resolving complex issues, a task the human team had mastered and the AI system only approximates. 4. Codify ethics. Early, automation without an ethical framework turns a competitive advantage into a moral liability. Businesses must decide before the implementation what debt they owe to the employees who trained their replacement systems. Don't click away yet. See that video on my left? Click it right now. The next story shows what happens when a business fixes the right constraint first, or the wrong one. You need to see this. Click that video and keep watching.